What's cracking? It's your boy J Nutty back at you with another official West Coast battle rap review. And today I bring y'all none other than the Kid Clutch versus Young Griz. Let's get it.
Yeah, G to the poster child. Yeah, stack bundles. Yeah, we certified hood. Yeah, we certified hood stars. Yeah, money all day. We do it our way. We won't just say hood stars. Yeah, we hood stars. Yo, we certified hood stars enforcing the mills. And when they see my
Young Griz versus Kid Clutch was a battle that went down on URL at the Proving Grounds. This was a dope-ass battle nonetheless. Even though it's a Proving Ground battle, both these cats have been around for a minute now, especially the Kid Clutch. Now, starting off with round one, Young Griz started it off. And when I say this motherfucker started it off, he was spitting that fire. I mean, he's one of those rappers that really perfects his material and perfects his performance. So he doesn't go out there, you know, Danny Myers style, which I'm not hating on, but I'm just saying he's not going out there just rah, 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 and the whole round like that. Even though he has picked up his performance lately, he knows when and how to like raise his voice and get a little crazy with it, then comes back down, talks to the man, can spit that real crazy shit, and this motherfucker can scheme. He's one of the best from the West at scheming, my man. So a few bars that stood out to me was he said, talking to Clutch, "I'll crack baby face with a crack baby. That's a 4 pound." That shit was fire.
You look like a teenager. You an old clown. I crack baby face with a crack baby. That's a 4 pound.
He also said something like, "Check the party trick. Bust you in the head with a large can. Clutch will get rocked by the whip. That's a garage band." That was fire. And he had been spitting that all round. So he started off spitting that fire shit and ended it spitting that fire shit. Clutch comes in right after Griz. And after I saw Griz's performance, I definitely was like, damn, Clutch is in for a big ass night, y'all. For real. Clutch starts off his round real clean. He was rapping that real G shit. He was talking like to the gangsters in the building. Kind of how Geechee Gotti does it, talking that real hood / gangbang shit. That's how Clutch came in. Some of the bars that stuck out for me was he said, "You rap for the nerd homies who never left the porch. I rap for the curb homies who can't stay out of court." That shit was real and that shit was fire. Cause like all my homies are locked up or in and out of court. So I know exactly what the fuck he's talking about when he said that. Like I said, started rapping that real hood shit. Now with Griz, he spit a lot of bars, but he didn't get into that real shit in his first round. So Clutch was just doing this shit back to back, just the same way Griz was. He had another one that said, "I'll hit you with these words flowing. I'm gifted, but over numbers, you'll get slashed over rounds. Homie, you know the percentage." That shit was fire. Now, I fucked it up because he didn't say homie, but I ain't black, so y'all know the drill. But anyways, this motherfucker came back with crazy haymakers back to back to back. Now, in my mind, that first round, Griz's probably hit a little bit harder, but Clutch had a few of those that hit hard as well and had a lot. Now, when I say a lot, he might have had more than Griz as far as punches and bars go. He also said something like, "Yeah, we can scrap it out because this right cross will send you to that dimension that Danny Myers be talking about." And you know Danny Myers always talks about, "Do you believe in a paradigm?" I don't know what the fuck. I do. "A parallel universe?" I do. So that's what he's talking about. That shit was dope. However, this first round goes, it's actually a close round, but it seems to me that Clutch not only spit a little bit more material, but he rapped a little bit longer. Both their shit was hitting, so it's not about hitting. The crowd was fire, by the way. So I got to give that first round to Clutch. Now let's get into that second. Round two. Young Griz definitely started off spazzing, and I know he was thinking in his head that he had to turn up. The way he wrote to me, even though his first was fire, his second was even better than his first. And that's a dope ass way to write if you can write some fire ass shit. Cause his first was dope, but then again his second was even better than his first. And that was some crazy ass shit to me. And some of the shit that stuck out, he just started off like Norbs after the Lotta Zay battle. I'm over prep for this. And that shit was fire because he's talking about the Prep and Lotta Zay battle when they brought Prep back after, you know, getting killed. And they brought him back versus Lotta Zay and he got killed. He said some suspect shit and that's basically where he's getting at. And he was over prep for it, which he really was because this motherfucker was spazzing. I don't think I've seen Young Griz get down like he did in this battle. Or maybe I have because he always gets down, but this just seemed like it meant a little bit more being that it was on URL. Another one that stuck out, he said, we black on y'all, check the gamer tag. I want to smoke shit every time I see you, Jamaican flag. That shit was fire, another fire ass bar. He picked up the haymakers this round and the punching back to back to back. He said, I keep a beam that's blacker than Bernie. That'll spray him up. That's a Mac clip and a Ray. This the Players Club. I fucked that up, but how he said it was fire. So, he just definitely stepped it up this second round and put it on Clutch. I think after that first round, Clutch kind of thought like, oh shit, I'm going to be getting this because he did do his thing. But when Griz came back, he came back even fighting harder than he started off with. So that was dope. That definitely showed me that he really wanted this and he wrote strategically. Strategically writing one round better than the next round is typically how a battle rapper should rap. Because if your first round kills them and you know your second and third are better than your first, then you know you got the battle hands down. But if you're like struggling your first round, well, at least two, then again, you could say, hey, well, my second is even more fire. My third is even more fire. If you can write like that. Now, it's hard because there's really no, unless you know like 10 people that are going to be in the crowd or you know someone that really gets down and listens to your shit. But there's really no way depending on how the crowd is. And another thing, that LA West Coast crowd is fire. Salute to them. They always getting down for that shit. So, yeah, his round two was just spazzy. He definitely picked it up and started working. Now, Clutch coming back with his round two. So, like I said, I gave the first round to Clutch. Then Griz comes out the gate spazzing. So Clutch starts off his round two like he said, y'all dudes stay rapping about guns as if they pull it. All I hear is trade this and trade that. Well, let's see if they'll trade some bullets. That shit was fire. Now he started off once again spazzing back to back. These two guys were fighting. This was a pit fight. This was a red nose versus a blue nose pit in the backyard, and none of them want to give up. These fools was going head up, and that's why I salute them both for doing it. Because nowadays, you hardly ever see two of them wanting it that bad, and these two definitely wanted it. So, some more bars that stuck out around in that second round. He said, the toy is clapping at you for trying to attack a soldier. I feel like a cameraman dumping your memory as soon as the battle's over. Fire. Dope shit. He said, oh, you know what? Just the bars that he had for Grizz's homie Plex was fire. Check it out.
Fire and tuck it, and I'll turn Plex into Ray Charles if I fire and dump it, cause the last thing he gonna see is his brother die in a bucket, so fuck it.
He had just crazy haymakers all this round, and Clutch also had a room shaker at the end of his second, like this.
And I don't give a fuck what stance you take. You ain't gonna sock nothing. See, what you gonna do with a real nigga and all of that soft punching? Think Billy Boone and Smack. Don't care how hard you try, cuz ain't gonna drop nothing.
The second round, the way these two went at it, and the first round they had, you know, I edged the first to Clutch, but that's not saying he got the first. And the second, both of them went in. So basically, it's coming down to this third round. I gave the first to Clutch, but he didn't get the first easy. And I'm giving the second to young Griz, but he didn't really get that easy either. These motherfuckers edging each other. So it could really go either way on both of those rounds. But nobody is winning right now at this point. So it all comes down to this third round. And starting off the third, young Griz again says KG in the fourth looking for West Coast talent. But don't got nothing in this herb. But who needs Clutch in the fourth when I'm up 20 in the third? Oh shit, get that motherfucker's collar. Do something like, that shit was fire, man, dope. These motherfuckers was just going off. He also had just fire haymakers. He said, y'all lackluster, whack fuckers. I got the shit the PGs wish they had. This is Smack's number. Fire. He said, I got something kind of big looking up to you. Gorilla Black's mother. What? What? Gorilla Black's mother, I got something kind of big looking up to you. Gorilla Black's mother, because Gorilla Black was kind of like B.I.G. That shit was hard. So this motherfucker stepped it up even more in the third, if you can believe that. The whole scheme he had about S.O. Finesse and Clutch leaving Dre Vicious was fire. And I ain't gonna really talk about that because I have a lot of respect for S.O. Finesse and Dre Vicious. Salute to both of y'all. So I ain't gonna talk about that subject, but that shit was a fire-ass scheme. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And right after that, he had a whole scheme about Clutch's name and the reason they're battling.
I see the geek in you. If you so Clutch, where were you when your team needed you? See, you know what I'm saying? You wanted this battle because I called you little homie in a bar. Had the nerve to call me a single pop and rap about my girl dying in that car. But see, I was by her side till she flatlined. And that's why that shit y'all be talking don't F with me. I literally held mine down till the buzzer went off. I'm more Clutch than you'll ever be.
That to me was a defiant factor in me judging this battle, because that whole scheme he had was just fire, and he ends it with this.
Puff Taz, nah, keep this L. I've been fucking you up all night. Easy kill. The tone been the same all battle. Reaper Rel, nigga.
Is there really anything else to say? When Griz starts off his first round dope, second round fire, third round ends it with two fucking room shakers. Clutch, you got some work to do, Clutch. You got some work to do. Clutch starts off his third. It kind of felt a little lackluster. It honestly kind of felt like Griz wasn't stopping. He was on an upward grind. Clutch, as his first round went off, he started off here, and the second was good, but not that good here, and then the third just went slowly down. And Griz did the total opposite shit. Clutch had some dope bars in there. He was talking that shit, but right when he got up to start cooking, he had a little slip up. He started fumbling his words. He couldn't remember, which happens. And regardless, he cleaned it up pretty good because he didn't choke. He didn't just stop and not rap or say a bunch of freestyles that just were fucking whack. He kind of remembered a little bit what he was going to talk about, said it, and then ended it short. So with that being said, this was a fire-ass battle. Y'all go check it out. The Kid Clutch versus Young Griz. I got two Griz. I got Young Griz taking it 2-1. I give him the first and the third. But if y'all got Clutch winning the first two, I ain't mad at you. Because like I said, none of them clearly won the first or the second. It definitely came down to the third.